I think Lalchand Rajput sir does not need any introduction. He's been a great player for India as well. He's been the manager of the team. Now, currently, he's coaching the Zimbabwe cricket team as well. So, sir, we'll start with your experience first. Like, when did you start playing cricket?
When I was in school, I think in the 8th or 9th standard, then I went for the summer vacation camp, it used to be. And there was a summer vacation camp I was staying in Anushakti Nagar, and there was a summer vacation camp in RCF Colony. Somebody said that Achrekar sir is going to give coaching there, he's coming. So why don't you go and try your luck? If selected, then you can be, So we all went from our colony, from 5-10 boys. So we 3 got selected. And from there onwards, then Achrekar sir said that which school you are in. We said we are in Atomic Central School, our central board. Then he requested us that why don't you change your school to Shardashtam? I said no, because I am in 9th standard, so I don't want to change, because ours is central board and yours is Maharashtra board, and again Marathi and English medium. So I said after 10th, then he came to my house, he spoke to my father, but my father said no, let him finish his 10th, and then after that. So after 10th, then I went to Ria College. But since I was in 9th standard, then he called me to his club, Sasanian Sports Club at VT. So we used to go for practice, we used to play some matches for the club. And I was part with his club for almost 2 years.
That's great, sir. And sir, at what age did you start playing Ranji Trophy, and what was the selection process at that time?
Ranji Trophy, I made my debut at the age of 19 or 20, because I played under 19 for India. And after I came back, then I was selected for under 22, Mumbai under 22. So I went with the under 22. I scored heavily there, and then once I came back, then I was called for the Ranji Trophy team, and I made my debut in 1980.
And sir, what was the selection process that time? Like now we see thousands of people, children gathering at one center for the MCA coaching camp. What was the selection process?
They're part of the Mumbai team. I played Mumbai under 19, India under 19. Then after I came back from India under 19, I went to play the under 22, Mumbai under 22. I was at that time 19 only, 19 or 20. And then since I had done so well after 4 games, and then they called me to play for Mumbai. So I was selected to play for Mumbai.
So do you remember your India debut game? Like who gave you your first test cap or one day cap?
ML Jaisima was the manager that time on Sri Lanka tour. When I was selected for Sri Lanka tour. So when I made my debut, Jaisima handed me the cap that time. And it was a good outing for me, to be very honest. I made 34 and 63 in my test debut. Almost got 100 runs on my test debut. Yeah, at Colombo, yeah. So unfortunately or fortunately, I think, I should have got 100 on my debut. So it would have been a different story, but I just missed out.
Yeah. And sir, how was your experience opening the batting with the great Sunil Gavaskar sir and Krishnamachari Shrikant sir for India at that time?
Yeah. For test matches, I opened on that Sri Lanka tour. I opened with Shrikant, but otherwise I had opened with Gavaskar in our Ranji Trophy, Duleep Trophy. So I had been playing alongside with him. It's a great experience. I think Gavaskar was an icon, to be very honest, because he was such a great player. To just share dressing room with all of them, it was a great experience for me. And it really taught us the work ethic, the discipline, and the focus, how you should prepare yourself for the game. We learned a lot from them, and I think that is the learning what we still carry for Mumbai. And never throw your wicket away, the Khadu's attitude. And I think we learned a lot from these senior guys.
So many people thought that you are going to be the next Sunil Gavaskar for the Indian cricket at that time. And there was so many talks about that. So were you under any kind of pressure at that time?
To be very honest, no pressure, but yes, I was very technically sound. People were talking about me. There were a lot of write-ups coming into the press, the Sports Star that time, a lot of this thing. the man who can replace Gavaskar once he retires is me, because I was having the temperament, I was having the technique, and I had the appetite for scoring big runs. If you look at my domestic career, I think I have scored heavily. That time I had 100 in each innings in the Dulip Trophy final. I was the first cricketer that I got a double 100 against North Zone. I got double 100 against Central Zone. I got 190 against South Zone. So I was scoring very heavily in domestic cricket. But unfortunately, I could not get a break. I think I was not destined, or I never had a godfather as well, to back me up that time. And with my talent, I should have played more for India. That's for sure.
But इतने सारा competition था, so unfortunately you could not play more matches, I think. And so you also played some unofficial games for Scotland as well. Can you share that experience with us?
I was the first Indian to play for two countries, to be very honest, because since I had played for India, and then I was playing the Scottish League, and again there also I was performing very heavily. So they were looking for a professional, and then since I was scoring heavily, so I was called in, and I played for Scotland in the Benson and Hedges, in the NatWest Trophy, and then against Pakistan, the touring team. So I had a good outing there as well. But Scotland, beautiful country, beautiful place. But cricket-wise, I think because of the weather, the wickets are softer. You don't get wickets like in India. So it's a difficult task to really play. But it was a good experience, and I really cherish those moments.
And sir, when we talk about Ranji Trophy and Dulip Trophy, this is actually a trivia question, that who was Sachin Tendulkar's first captain, Ranji Trophy captain? And the answer is obviously you. So what was your experience like? You were the skipper of the side of a 15-year-old guy making debut for Mumbai Ranji Trophy. So what was that experience like?
When he played, I think he was just a young boy, he was 14 and a half, 15 years old. And again, as I said, he was performing so well in under 19 tournament. He had big hundreds, 190, 180, and people are talking, oh, this is a young guy. So selectors had picked him up, and then we had a chance to see him at the nets. So I said, let's have a look at the nets key, because he was in good nick. I think he was striking the ball so well that, it was just because he has got so many runs behind his back, it became easier for him when we were practicing. So I told our fast bowler Raju Kulkarni was the fastest in India that time. I said, Raju, usko thoda bouncer dal, dekhenge kaisa. And he was just at ease. Yeah? I said, this guy looks like something special. And then at the nets also, we tried him to bowl with bouncers, upset with him short ball, but he was finding very easy. He was striking the well. And that's how I think we made him play in the first game, because normally to get into the Mumbai team is so difficult. Yeah. And then once you get in, then they will say that, youngster, let's groom it, let's have a feel in the dressing room, and then make him play. But I made him play in the first game as well. And that's the history. He got 100 on debut. Yeah.
And you too scored 99 runs, but unfortunately you got on 99.
Yeah, I was a run out on 99.
So, sir, what was the first thing which you told Sachin when he was about to make his debut for Mumbai?
I said, it's a big honor for you. Mumbai cap doesn't come very easily. You're privileged that you're part of the Mumbai team at such a young age. And please try to, cherish this cap and make sure that you do justice to your talent, because you have got so many runs behind your back now. Under 19 is just a step up. And I just told him that don't think that it's a Ranji Trophy game. Just play as if you're playing your under 19 match. And just go out and give your best. And yes, he gave his best, and he played like our under 19 game.
And then he got 100 in the Irani Trophy or the Rib Trophy game too.
No, Irani Trophy, yes. Again, I was the captain of that match. We were playing at Wankhede only. And he got 100, and then after that game, he got selected for the Pakistan tour.
And sir, then the most highlighted thing of your career, the moment when you became the manager of the Indian team in 2007, especially after the debacle of 2007 World Cup. So what was the environment?
After the 2007 World Cup exit, I think our team was all, distracted. The coach was sacked, Greg Chappell. Then they made me the cricket manager. I was the cricket manager that time. It was called not the manager. It was a cricket manager, just like a coach. And It was a big task for me because players were not, they had lost their confidence because we could not qualify for the World Cup. There were a lot of backlash in Indian cricket that this team could not play well, and players are how our Indian crowd is, because
Yeah.
if you don't do well, then you'll get a lot of bombardments from the crowd, media. So it was a good challenge for me, good opportunity for me.
Mm.
And to be very honest, I was lucky that I got a young team,
Mm.
2007 World Cup, T20 World Cup. So that young
Mm.
team really gave that impetus to work with. Since the senior players were not there, the young guys, they wanted to prove themselves. There were some senior guys who wanted to make a comeback in the Indian team, so they wanted to prove themselves. So it was
Mm.
a good bunch of some senior guys and juniors. And
Mm.
I really, love to work with these young bucks. And to be very honest, we never thought that we will win the World Cup, but the confidence was there. And then we took one game at a time. And as we started winning the first game against Pakistan, that was the ball. From there onwards, we started. We said, "Oh, we are coming to this fray. Let's not
Mm.
step back. Let's be very confident. Jo hoga hoga, dekha jayega. But we have to give our best." And that's how we started. And then I think the players started believing in themselves.
And sir, what was the thought process behind making MS Dhoni the captain of the Indian team, the young Indian side?
I think it was a selector's choice because the seniors were not there.
Mm.
So we thought that a young captain, new captain would bring some new energy into the team. Plus, I was the new coach as well, the new captain, the young team. And I
Mm.
think we just gelled well. That's very important because for any team to win, it has to be a very cohesive unit, very healthy atmosphere in the dressing room, and
Mm.
the people have to back each other. That's very important.
And apart from that, sir, we've also heard that the Indian team was the only team which was actually practicing bowl out during that World Cup tournament. So how true is that
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Because once we go on a tour, I always have the habit of reading the laws. Ki what happens if there is a tie? What happens if there's rain? And the point system and how it will be. So when it was a tie, then normally you have the rules like say they will have their average or they will have other things which can describe or spin of the coin. But in this case, they had introduced first time like football, like penalty, it was like bowl out.
Yeah.
So we said that, let's practice bowl out. So after practice session got over, every practice session we used to have 3 teams because we were 15 players. So what we used to do, we used to divide 5 each, 3 teams, and we used to play among each other. And
Mm.
we said that whoever wins will, and you will be amazed that we saw that slow bowlers could hit the
Yeah.
stumps very often. And that's
Mm.
how we put slow bowlers to start in our this thing. And Pakistanis put fast bowlers. They never hit one at least. And we had Harbhajan, Sehwag, and Robin
Robin Uthappa.
Uthappa to start with. Yeah, yeah.
And sir, who were the other two nominated bowlers who didn't get a chance to bowl in the bowl
Uh,
out?
I can't remember now. I think we just nominated. There was one fast bowler as well. I think we had nominated Irfan or somebody else.
RP Singh maybe.
RP, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember,
Mm.
yeah. Mm.
And sir, when the team lost the match against New Zealand in the Super 8 game, so what was the confidence like at that moment in the dressing room? Did you still think that we
See,
can win the tournament?
yeah, because we had almost got 200 runs in that game.
Yeah.
Again, New Zealand, we batted so well. But I think we, as team, we discussed that, if our team get 200, I think
Mm.
is one off day that some other team can really chase that 200. But if we get that score, I don't think any other team can get. So it was just one off game, just forget it and let's start, looking at. So because we had that confidence that we can, get those runs there in T20. Because if you look at the Indian team's T20, performance earlier, we had just played one game before we went for the
Yeah.
World Cup. So we never had much exposure of that thing
Mm.
at T20. So we said that, if we can get 200 runs in the T20, then I think we have to back ourselves that we will win at least 1 or 2 games. And once we start winning it, then the confidence will take through because the league games are very important. And then once you cross the league phase, then it's just anybody's game because there's a pressure game. Because once you qualify, then it's a pressure game. And big teams also come under pressure. So you just go through that momentum. So we just wanted that momentum to go. But New Zealand game gave us that hiccup that no, we got to really pull up your socks. We got to maintain our, all the departments, skill department. Batting is not only the one, fielding and bowling as well. So that we can go through, and we started working on the other aspects as well, like bowling well, fielding well. And if you look at our fielding standard, I think that was one of the best fielding teams we had.
Yeah. We still remember that catch by Dinesh Karthik at Gully, I think, against South Africa.
So even Rohit Sharma run out, and we had brilliant fielding side that time. So that's why I said after the New Zealand game, we started working on the other aspect. I said we got to tighten the screw. Let's put our foot down and say we got to take some brilliant catches. We got to bowl to our plan. We got to stick to our positive, our strength, not for the opponent's strength. And then I think we just started doing that. What we are strong at, let's play to our strength.
And the most important thing is the game which you lost to New Zealand. The 4 games afterwards were all a very high intensity game. One against England, one against Australia, and then Pakistan in the finals. So do you think that 6 sixes changed the momentum back towards the Indian team?
Yeah, I haven't seen such a great hitting by any of the players because I have witnessed 2 things like that, 2 6-6s hitting. One was Ravi Shastri in the Ranji Trophy game when I was part of it, and then Yuvraj. But Yuvraj's 6-6s are fantastic, out of the world, because if you look at his 6s, see, normally a batsman tries to hit it in the onside, on the arc, mid-wicket or this thing. But Yuvraj had hit him all over the park, because if you look at his 6s, it was on fine leg, mid-wicket, then extra cover, then third man. So it was all over around and that really gave us the momentum, because we can do it. Everybody was fired up, everybody was charged up, and especially UV was fired up because I think he had a verbal spat with Flintoff, and that really made life miserable for Broad, I would say, because that really turned the whole momentum of the Indian team as well.
And then the semi-final game against Australia, we saw all our players were very pumped up as well. Like Sreesanth celebrating after taking the wickets. So what was the kind of intensity and were there any sledging happening on the ground? Like what made the players so much fired up?
See, to play against Australia is always a big thing, because Australian team were the best team. They used to sledge. They used to consider other teams like as no competition to them. So we were all charged up. I said T20 is a game where no one is favorite. I used to just keep on saying every time. I still keep on saying T20, nobody is favorite. You play better on that particular day, you win. One guy can make a difference. He can win you the game, and he can lose you the game. So in an over, if you take 2 wickets or 3 wickets, the game is over. In an over, if you get 20 runs, that game is over. So that's how we said that no, we got to be charged up, and everybody was saying yes, we got to win, because England game, you had done 6 sixers, we fielded well, we bowled well, so Sreesanth was charged up as well, and Harbhajan everybody was, again Australia, everybody was charged up, and I think the body language what we showed on that tournament was tremendous, because everybody was hungry, everybody was hungry for success, and they wanted to prove a point, because it was a big platform, a World Cup platform. And if you do well and if you conquer, then you are the world champions. And any time, if you are playing for the first time in a World Cup and the first time you win, people remember you for ages, So after that, so many teams have won. But whoever asked, who were the winners of the first World Cup? India, yeah. So that's why I said, now come on, guys, you've got to be charged up. Let's not look back. Let's play this game hard and try to win it. And I think everybody really Sreesanth bowled well, RP Singh bowled, Irfan bowled well, Harbhajan, everybody. I wouldn't say it was a good team effort, I would say.
And also, sir, in that World Cup, we had many youngsters playing for the first time in the Indian team. One of them was also Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma had made his ODI debut before, but he came into the T20 side for the first time. How did you make him play in the Super 8 game against the big teams
Because
and
I
big
knew
games?
him. See, Rohit was from Mumbai. I knew him. I was at NCA as well, so I knew him very well. And he had played some brilliant knock. He was a brilliant fielder. If you look at his run out also in the World Cup, it was brilliant. And I think young legs made a difference because the fielding standard improved, and
Hmm.
we were one of the better fielding side as well. And the hunger to because Rohit Sharma was not a certainty into the one-day team. He was in and out. So this was a big platform for him to show the world that he's ready and he's there to stay for long. And Robin Uthappa had a very good outing in the World Cup as well. So overall, if you look at Sehwag, Gautam Gambhir again, he had a fantastic T20 World Cup. I think, according to me, he is the best player of spin bowling. The way he plays the spinner, using his feet, extra coverage, hitting over the extra cover, I think brilliant and sweep. You name it, he steps out and hits over mid wicket. I think one of the best players of spin bowling. So we had a very good bunch of young buck with the senior guys, like Harbhajan, Sehwag, Irfan, for that matter, Harbhajan. So it was a good mixture of these two seniors versus the youth.
And sir, then coming to the finals of the T20 World Cup, there was already so much pressure in that game. Plus, you get the news that Sehwag is not fit and he won't be available for the finals. How did you all cope up with that?
Yeah, Sehwag was a big player, to be very honest, because he used to give us a good start with, and Gautam and Sehwag were a very good opening pair because they both play for the same team back home from Delhi, so they had a very good understanding. Their running between the wicket was superb, and they could always take chances. They knew which bowler to take, and they had a very good understanding. So Sehwag not playing was a big blow for us. But again, if a player is injured, we can't help it because he had a hamstring injury which he could not run. But he was saying that I can take a chance, but the physio said no because if he breaks, then he will be out for 6 months. We never want to take chance. So we said, okay, let's go with an unknown entity because Yusuf Pathan was there. Nobody had seen him, so we discussed on that, and I said to Dhoni that Pakistanis don't know Yusuf Pathan because he's not played in international cricket. They don't know
Hmm.
where to bowl at him. He's a brilliant fielder. He can
Yes.
save 10 to 15 runs on the field. Plus, he can give you one or two, or he can bowl off spinners as well. So you can
Hmm.
take that chance and then give him a break. Because we never had much choice as well to select from. So we went to Yusuf Pathan and he just broke the shackle by hitting his first run was a six. So that really opened up the gate for us. And as I said, well, Pakistan has never won against us in a World Cup. They were always under pressure. And plus, uh, we always feel that, we just take that game as one, as another game. We don't take it as a final because if you
Hmm.
take that as a final, it really put pressure on you.
Yeah.
Final always get pressure, and I think they were under pressure. At one stage, we were winning very comfortably, but either in 1 over of Harbhajan, he had three sixes,
Yeah.
so Misbah just brought the game back. But
Hmm.
as I would say, luck would have been because uh, Joginder Sharma bowled an excellent last over because it was very, very crucial. But the way we played in that game, I think we deserve to win that, and that's how we won it.
And
Because it was a hard work of whole the tournament because we were the team which people were talking later on that this is the team we should win the World Cup.
the other day, I was watching an interview of Yusuf Pathan. He told us that he didn't knew that he's going to play the finals. In the morning, he was in the gym, and you went up to
I
him and
told,
told,
yeah,
so what was that
yeah,
story?
because we were just waiting for physio to give a report on Sehwag. So normally I go to gym in the morning and I saw Yusuf doing gym because he was not playing the last couple of games. He thought he rather than sitting here, gym. So I said, no, you might be playing today. So don't do any gym. Just go to the room and relax because Sehwag is unfit. So I'm just waiting. So then he got, am I? I said, yeah, you might be opening the batting. And that's how he was, mentally prepared. But we never wanted him to give much time to think over because if you tell him the day before, then he might not get sleepless night. That
Yeah.
was because it's a big game, final game. So, but in the morning we just told him so he knows that he just have to go to the game and be positive.
And when we won the T20 World Cup, the next two series were also very important for India. Like the Australian team came here, they won the ODI series
Yeah,
but lost the T20. And then the Pakistan team
yeah,
came here, and they were very
yeah,
sure, like we have to take the revenge of the T20 World Cup. So how was
yeah.
that at that time?
Yeah, because we did very well because Pakistan series we won the Test series, we won the One Day series. They had come with a vengeance to prove that they wanted to show us that they are still the better team.
Yeah,
But I think we played very well because then in the Test matches all our seniors are back. Sachin, Sehwag, Sachin, Rahul Dravid, Ganguly, then
hmm.
Lakshman. So all are back, and uh, I think we dominated it actually. In fact, and Saurabh got a double hundred at Bangalore Test match. Last
Yeah,
test. So overall, if you look at it, we had a very good series, and we beat them convincingly. In Test
hmm.
and even in ODI. Only thing that we should have won against Australia in the ODI, but we lost it. But when we went there to Australia, we won the CB series. That was also first time we won the CB series. So
Hmm.
and that too in the straight two finals. So that
Yeah.
was a big point. I would say a plus point in my career as well as a coaching as a coach.
And talking about that Australia series, how challenging was that environment as a cricket manager? We all know what happened in Sydney. So, how challenging was for you to motivate the players to keep going throughout the series?
See, Australian series was always tough earlier because they used to just come and start talking, like verbal spats. Then they will start, how Australians are. They will be, talking in the press as well. Ki this
Yeah,
Indian team is not that great. They will talk about the players as well. They will mentally, upset you before the match start. But we had a bad test match. The first one we lost at Melbourne, and then the
mm,
second one, actually we came back very very well. But you know what had happened. I think
yeah,
that game umpiring was dismal. I would say because there were so many decisions against us. In fact, we should have won that test match because of those umpiring poor decisions. I think we had a verbal spat, and then that monkey gate came up. But
yeah,
to be very honest, we were at the receiving end. And
mm,
after that, the Indian team, we wanted to come back, because we said that we can't play because we are not playing against 11, we are playing against 13 all the time. So then the board had a meeting and then they said we'll sort it out. Then one practice game was also called off. Then we were put up in Sydney hotel, and then the board decided, and then we started playing, and then that made us even stronger. And we after that we went to Perth and we beat them in Perth.
mm,
So we came back with vengeance because in Perth, Indian team has never won before. That was the first win in Perth
yeah,
as well. So we did well, and that game I made Ishan Sharma play because I had seen him with under 19, and he bowled a fantastic spell to Ponting.
yeah,
Everybody remembers that. Yeah, and after that, then we went for the fourth to Adelaide. Adelaide, it was a draw. So in fact, if we
mm,
had won the Test match at Sydney, we would have won the series. But
yeah.
it was a consolation that we won at Perth and then we drew at Adelaide. And then the CB series came. So we said to the boys, like, guys, we got to take something back home. Because yes, we allowed the test series, but CB series, we got to try and push up. So we had, again, a young team because seniors were not there. And that series was fantastic. Rohit Sharma got a 19 the first game. Sachin got 100. And then, we batted. Gautam was scoring well. And overall, if you look at that time, somebody or the other would raise their hand and win games for it. It was not one guy who would, single-handedly win you. So we had to,
Mm.
as a team effort, I think we really won games for each other.
And sir, I still remember before the Tri-Series finals in 2008, the CB series, Ricky Ponting
Mhm.
had given a statement that we won't need the third final. We'll just finish it in two. And then the Indian team was the one who finished it in two matches and won the series.
Yeah, I know. I don't know whether you read the interview after the CB series because yes, uh, before the finals, they have captains this thing and they gave an interview. So Ricky Ponting said that I don't think there will be a third final because the final will be over by that time. So after we won the final, the first two games, then I gave a statement that I must congratulate Ricky Ponting that he's a good astrologer. He predicted it well that there will be only two finals, but he never predicted that India would win. So India won the final, but definitely yes, there were only two finals. So he never liked it, but I gave him back.
Even I don't know if it's true or not. On social media, we saw even Sachin had given it back to him. He had said that indeed
Yeah, yeah,
Ponting was right.
yeah. Everybody gave him back. Yeah.
That season was in fact very big for Indian cricketers because we also saw the birth of IPL, and you were part of Mumbai Indians. So how challenging was that job?
See, nobody knew how IPL would go, so it was a new baby altogether to start with. So everybody was just because we had won the T20 World Cup, so people were really keen to see this IPL, and I'm really happy that because of the T20 World Cup, IPL happened. Plus, the players got benefited, and it has become a big cricketing all over the world now,
Yeah.
event. So I'm really happy that I was part of it. But Mumbai Indians, yes, we had a challenge because Sachin was injured to start with. He couldn't play the
Hmm.
first 4 or 5 or 6 games. So we had a new captain again. Harbhajan was leading. So I had to start again because to get all the people around from different parts of the world and to make it gel, I think it was a good experience for me. And sharing their experiences like Pollock, Jayasuriya, Smith, Bravo. There were a lot of, it was a good experience altogether. And it was challenging, but you learn a
Hmm.
lot of things, how to manage people. And it's just man management because in T20, you cannot do a lot of coaching there. It's just man
Hmm.
management. And you got, the captain takes most of the decision on the ground. Because if you don't take the right decision at the right moment, you lose the game because it just goes, I would say, by a whisker the team is gone,
Yeah.
or you lose the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mumbai Indians side at that time in the first season, they had the upcoming stars who later played for India. We had Ajinkya Rahane, Manish Pandey, Saurabh Tiwari. So how did you? They had just come from the junior level cricket into a senior side, playing against some of the best in the world. So what did you tell them to just pump them up before the games?
See, I was part of the under 19 team of India under 19 before the World Cup till
Hmm.
2007. So
Hmm.
Manish Pandey, Ajinkya Rahane, Saurabh, they all were under me at under 19 because we
Yeah.
had toured England, we had toured New Zealand, we had toured Sri Lanka. So they all knew me, I all knew them. So it was familiar to me. So they are very comfortable, talking to me and exchange. So I just kept on saying that this is a big platform for you, but
Hmm.
don't take any pressure. Just go and play your normal game. Simple. Whatever happens, because you cannot think about the uncontrollable. See, you got to think about the control, what you can control. Uncontrollable is not in your hand. Say like the pitch, the crowd, they are not in your hand,
Hmm.
uh, because what type of pitch we get, we don't know. Only unless if you're playing at home. So you got to go and play on any type of wicket and make sure that you got bat in hand, just bat and ball, and you got to make sure that you're in the right frame of mind because a clear mind makes you perform better.
Correct. And sir, then you've also been the head coach of the Afghanistan cricket team from 2016 to 2018. That was the time when they actually got the test status as well.
Yeah, when I joined Afghanistan, because in fact you won't believe it, people were laughing at me because I said Afghanistan कहाँ का कोच बन रहा है यार, वो तो कोई क्रिकेट खेलते हैं वहाँ पे बॉम्ब हर 2 दिन में बॉम्ब फूटता है. I said it's a challenge, let's go there because I want challenge because I want to turn around team because that is my forte because I want to see that some teams are at certain levels, so I want to take them to the next level.
Hmm.
And that was a challenge for me. So I took up that challenge. The only thing I said that to Afghanistan that I cannot come to Kabul.
Hmm.
So they said, no, we are going to practice in Noida. So it's fair. So I
Hmm.
took the challenge. And then we had a meeting and I said, slowly I kept on. We were playing these associate countries. So we
Hmm.
just sat down and said, Ki, how many of you are happy playing these associate countries or you want to play against test playing countries? Everybody said, no, no, sir, we want to play against India, we want to play against Australia. So I said, are you happy to be T20 player or one day player or test player? So they said, no, but T20 is a lot of mileage, the money. I said, a player is recognized by the test he plays. The test cricket is the real test of a cricketer. So you got to aim to be a test playing country. They said, but sir, we can't. I said, no, let's start from today that you all take a oath that we want to become a test playing country. So what all things we have to A, B, C, I put. I said, from here onwards, we have to start winning all the game, so that we can tell the IC that since we are winning all the matches and playing against each country we are playing, so we have to go to the next level, and that is the test level. So from that day onwards, first only one series I lost initially, that was against Bangladesh. After that, we never lost a single series, be it one day, be it T20, and be it 4-day, because they used to play 4-day cricket, associate countries, So we played against Ireland, we played against Scotland, we played against Holland, we beat them everyone. And that's how people, I said, you don't have to relax, because if you win one game, you should not, relax the next game. Let's make, and then because of our consistency level, the teams we were beating, IC had no chance but to give us, the test status. That was the best thing. And with this thing being the coach there, I think that was another feather in my cap that, I became a part of Afghanistan to get that test status. Yes, the players were the one who played, but at least I was a part behind the scene to make it happen.
So you must have seen Rashid Khan, Mohammad Shehzad, Mohammad Nabi in their early days as well. So how did you motivate them to play against the big nations?
Yeah, see, to be very honest, they were playing T20s and shorter format, like one day. As they used to play power game. They used to be happy getting quick 50, 60, 70s, say 30 balls, 60 runs. 40 balls, 70 runs, but I said, this is not, yes, you have to play this thing, but I want hundreds, if you want to be test player, you got to get hundreds, So I started getting them like the Bombay attitude, the Khadus attitude. No, yeah, don't get, happy in getting 50s or 60s. I want you to get 100. So slowly people started, and then Shehzad got 100, big 100 in a test match against Ireland, in like a 4-day game in Ireland. Asghar got 100. So there were people started getting hundreds, and that's how I said that if you start getting hundreds, then it becomes easier. Even in one day, you have to get 100. The top 4 batsmen, if they are in, they have to get. So slowly that getting 100 habit was there, and then since you get those habit of getting 100, the other players also get motivated, and then winning the games. That is motivating for the other players, the youngsters, to take up this game seriously. So that's how we try to motivate them. Because if you bat well, if you do well, people will get. Because if you do well in T20s, 1 days, and even 4-day game, people will look at you for other events like Big Bash. There are so many T20s and formats going on in the world. Caribbean Premier League, then Big Bash, Bangladesh Premier League, then Afghanistan started, Mazanzi Cup started. So then Canada was there. So I said that, if you do well, sky is the limit. And that's how Rashid Khan, Nabi, they all are playing in different leagues and doing very well. I think Rashid is one of the number 1 bowler in the T20.
And not only they are playing, they are the main players of their teams as well, whichever league they are playing in.
Yeah. Even Big Bash, he is dominating. Nabi is dominating. So it's good to see now. Mujib has come, another spinner. Then there is another one is Oyesh. There's a leg spinner from Afghanistan. He was under 19 when I was there. He was a good prospect, I had told. But now he has made a debut, I think, 1-day or test match. He played one.
And sir, now currently you are coaching the Zimbabwe cricket team. So we have seen Zimbabwe since our childhood. They had some great players like Andy Flower, Van Flower, Olonga. So what do you think, why is Zimbabwe cricket not doing that well like they used to be like 20 years back?
When they got me 2018, nearing 19, I think they had lost out on the World Cup, 2019 World Cup. They could not qualify. So they sacked all their coaches, and then they approached me because they said I had brought Afghanistan. So they asked me whether I can. And since I was not going to join Afghanistan because they wanted me to come to Kabul, so and they read in the paper. So they just called me one day. I just got a call from Zimbabwe Cricket MD. He says, we have heard about you, so why don't you? I said, let me give you a thought. I'll come back. Then again, he called me, and I said, okay, first let me see. I'll come for 2-3 months. We'll have a look around for one series. I'll do, and then if the players are happy, if the management is happy, then we'll take a call on the next. So I went for the first time. I saw there were a lot of problems in the team as well because they had money problem because the players were not getting paid. So if you remember, they had strike there. Key players were not
Yeah.
playing for the team. Yeah. So I said, yeah, this is a problem, because they have got good players, but problem is management. Like players are not managed properly. So the first series we lost to Pakistan, but with the new players, we almost
Mm.
tried to improve that,
Yeah.
and then it's up to I said, you have seen my coaching is up to you whether you want. So they said, no, the players are happy. They want you as coach. So I said, okay. So I thought they will give me a year contract, In fact, they
Yeah.
gave me a 3-year contract. They said, no, we would like to want you for till 2021. So I took up
Mm.
the challenge and I want to make it that they want to come to the World Cup as well. That is my challenge now. So 2021 World Cup was in India,
Mm.
T20 World Cup. So that
Yeah.
is for that I'm trying that we have to qualify for that and for the 2023 World Cup. The 50 over because 19 they could not play. So next World Cup. So that is a challenge for me, and I'm sure I can meet the challenge because my work ethic, the passion which I have for coaching, I will never uh, say that I'll give up at any time. But problem is that in between these problems come because I don't get a longer stint with them because last
Yeah.
time we did well after coaching. Say you have to know the players, then you got to know.
Mm.
Uh, have a good trust between the coach and the players. And we started getting there. Then we went to Bangladesh. We beat Bangladesh in Bangladesh for the first time in 20 years. We beat in a test match. So that was a good, satisfying thing. But after that, then there was a coup in their Zim cricket because government had taken over and the elected body was thrown out. So the ICC then debarred there for 3 months. So we could not have cricket there for 3 months.
Mm.
Then after 3 months, then again I had to start from scratch. So now we started uh, last, I think, October, November.
Mm.
Then we went to Bangladesh again. We had Sri Lanka series. Sri Lanka came
Yeah.
for 2 test matches. If you know, we almost won a one test match. We lost the first one. We should have drawn that. But the second test, we had to take 10 wickets the last day. We could not.
Mm.
But that was satisfying that we put pressure on Sri Lanka because
Yeah.
they had to save the test match. It's the other way around normally. So that is a one step forward that we are putting pressure on the big team like Sri Lanka. Then we went to Bangladesh. Bangladesh we never had that much great series, but almost in one day we almost chased 322. We lost by
Mm.
4 runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are getting there. But again now we are lost with the coronavirus. So again 3 months there will be nothing. So I have to start again scratch. So it is becoming difficult for me. But these are the reasons which is not in our control. So I'm not getting a long rope to coach for 6 months and then play and then make a difference. Because if you play continuously, then only you can improve and make a difference. But definitely, I will try and make sure that they qualify for the next World Cup. That is the main goal for me.
And sir, since there are lockdowns in so many countries, I don't know about Zimbabwe, but in these difficult situations, how are the players training themselves right now?
Uh, yeah, there are also lockdown in Zimbabwe. They are also extended till 30th, 31st of May. Uh, there are some people who have got big houses, like what you call bungalow houses. So they got space in there so they can do. But some are staying in flats. So they are doing like what we are doing at home, or doing
Mm.
skipping, exercises, stretching.
Mm.
Then some drills in like for batsmen. I always tell them like we used to be told by Achtekar sir, put a ball in the socks and a hanging ball hitting in the in the house, something like that. I have given them those exercises. I keep a track with the trainer as well. We be in touch,
Mm.
and then every week we talk about what we have been doing. So something is other happening because everybody can't afford gym at their homes and all those things because some are really can't afford that. So, but we are keeping a track, the trainers keeping a track with the players wherever they are at their home. And we are, trying to make sure that they are doing something other than not sitting idle and putting on weight. But yes, skill work has to be done. So hopefully, whenever the lockdown is lifted, so we'll try and see that they come to the ground and practice. I don't know when, but everybody is desperately waiting because cricket. Zimbabwe is a cricket country. Passionate country, I would say. Sports. If you look at that, they had tremendous sporting culture there. But since they were not doing well, people are not backing up that much. But once they start doing well, I assure you, people will start backing. And again, Zimbabwe, the old Zimbabwe, you can see it again. But you have to give me some time.
Hopefully, we are able to see it soon, sir. And sir, do you have any message for our fans and the viewers regarding this lockdown thing, the corona thing? You have to give any
Yeah, I
message.
think life is very important, guys. So you got to follow the guidelines of the government. Please be at home, stay safe. Don't go unnecessarily out unless it is needed. Say like for your grocery or vegetables. Otherwise, please be at home. Wear mask if you want to go out. When you're coming back, please wash your hands like 20 seconds. You've got to wash it, properly. And please follow the guidelines and make sure that, as I say, life is very precious. Make sure that if you're alive, you can do anything. So make sure that you follow the guidelines and be safe and be at home.
Jaan hai to jahan hai. Thank you so much for
Definitely,
talking to us, sir.
my pleasure.